Welcome to our midweek encouragement. I'm Pastor Reed here at First Baptist Church of Olathe. During the season of Lent, we're going to be reflecting on one of the devotions from the week in our Lenten devotional. This week is week number 1, and already the author of the devotional is poking at me, and I love it. I hope you're enjoying it as well. I want to begin by reading one of the pieces from the March 4th devotional, and it says this: "Times of trial and testing are neither punishments nor signs of God's disfavor, nor are they pass-fail exams. They help us realize our identity, our purpose, and our support at work. It feels like we fail. Our trials are seasons for relearning who we are, where we are going, and whose we are." This day's devotional took from the Luke passage where Jesus is driven out into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And the author reflects on what temptation means, and the kind of the positives of what temptation can reveal, what trials can reveal. And they utilize, they talk a little bit about, or they utilize a quote from Henry Nouwen. And I want to put that quote into a little bit of context, because while it's a beautiful sentiment, I don't know that if you don't know Henry's story, you really understand the type of testing he was going through. Henry Nouwen was an absolutely brilliant an author, a spiritual father to many. He was trained in psychology. He taught at Notre Dame. He taught at Yale. And at one point, he had so many people wanting to come to his seminars at Yale that he would have people lined up in the hallways just to get a glimpse of Henry, just to hear what Henry had to say. And so Henry was somebody who derived his worth and his value largely from his intellectual capabilities and the desires for and the desire of others to hear him. He had something to give, something to offer, something that was valuable for them, something that enriched their lives. But along the way, Henry himself began to feel like there's got to be something more. And so at one point he takes a trip through Latin America, and that is an eye-opening and stretching experience for him, but he comes back to America and he's just not fulfilled. And so he begins talking with Jean Vallier, I think that's his name, the French founder of the L'Arche movement, which is a movement that provides long-term housing for people with severe mental delay or defect. And so Henry, through his experience with Jean, finds himself coming to L'Arche daybreak in the outskirts of Montreal, Quebec. And so that's where this quote comes from. In his book, In the Name of Jesus, Henry says this: "The first thing that struck me when I came to live in a house with mentally handicapped people was their liking or disliking me had absolutely nothing to do with any of the many useful things I had done until then. In a way, it seemed as though I was starting my life all over again. In many ways, it still is the most important experience of my life because it forced me to discover my true identity. When he had all of the things ripped away from him that he thought made him something, he found out that what made him something was just being him, being present, being human. And the testing and the trial is what led him to discover that truth. The residents of L'Arche gave Henry a gift that he couldn't have earned, that he possibly would never have received anywhere else. And that is that he was loved just for him. You know, one of the things that I've been mulling over as I've been reflecting on this is this truth. Number one, well, first of all, have I learned the same truth that Henry has learned? Have I learned in myself that I am valued not because of what I can do, what I am gifted in, what I'm talented in, how much money I have, what kind of car I drive, what kind of status I've obtained, how many followers on Instagram or Twitter, or family Facebook friends, how many likes, how many reposts, any of that. Have I learned that I am not defined by any of that? Have I learned that I am not valued because of any of that? But have I learned that I am valued because I am simply a child of God? That's been sticking with me, is what do I derive my worth and value from? The second thing that has been rolling around in my mind is that am I like the residents of L'Arche Daybreak to others? Do I value them simply because they are valuable? Or do I value them because of what I get out of my relationship with them? I suppose another way to say it is, do I value the gift? Or do I value the one giving the gift? Do I value the present? Or do I value the presence? Do I value the human being? Or do I value all that they give me and make me feel? As a parent, as a husband, as a pastor, I hope and pray that I am letting the people in my life know that they could do absolutely nothing and they would still be worth everything to me. Because they are to God. And our journey towards the cross proves that, as Jesus hangs on the cross to suffer and die for us. So know that you are valued because you are a child of the Most High God. But also know that our responsibility is to help other people find that same truth out about themselves. Blessings.